There wasn't a lot of gameplay from the EA live event for Star Wars Squadrons, so I can't really go and have an in-depth analysis on all of the gameplay from that game, because really there isn't a lot of gameplay, so I can kind of just give you this surface level take on the gameplay that I saw for Star Wars Squadrons. Really, this is just gonna be me talking about some of the mechanics and level design and some of the other interesting things that I saw within, I think, that 5-minute piece of gameplay that they had. So let me talk about the mechanics first of the game, and it kind of flows into with the level design of the game as well. When I first heard that the developer said that you were going to be able to drift in the game, and I said this on my reaction to the EA live event, I was like, I didn't believe the developer when they said, oh yeah, well, you can just drift in outer space. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that look like? What does that entail? And then they showed you it. They showed, I think, an X-Wing getting away from a stormtrooper, I think, support unit class ship, and it was drifting. It was drifting in outer space. I have a small clip of it here, and I'll try and find better clips, but it's like, it was this small, quick little thing that I was like, wow, like, yeah, that's drifting in outer space. And then on top of that, it went on to some of the mechanics, some of the level design of the game as well, where you're flying through ships and you're dogfighting and you're escaping from different enemy crafts. And I think you were flying in an A-Wing, which is the faster unit type for the rebels, and you're flying through this spaceship, through this destroyed spaceship, and it looks really, really cool, and you're trying to avoid enemies. And I was like, wow, like they've actually nailed it when it comes to some parts of the level design. I don't necessarily know how in-depth they're going to go with this game's level design and how they're going to create some of the maps and the levels with the game to flow with some of the mechanics of the games, with some of the different spaceships in the game. But it all seems really, really well thought out, and I really, really liked what they did with not only the mechanics of the game, with, you know, some of the drifting and flying aspects, to even being able to apparently shift your shields from the front end of the ship to the back end of the ship, so that way if somebody's on your tail, you can divert power to the back end and maybe, you know, buy some more time to create to do a maneuver, so that way you can escape from their sights and then move away. And then, like, there's so many different variances that you can have with this specific game and some of the mechanics and the level design, and I really, really liked how thought out a lot of the gameplay was with this game. The final thing that I'll kind of hit on here, I really, really liked, but they didn't really go in depth with this game, and that was how the radials and the dials and some of the stuff within the cockpit, how that actually works and functions within the game, because I have no idea how it functions. I have no idea what all of that stuff means. I know they briefly kind of explained it, but I don't necessarily know how that translates specifically to the gameplay, other than some of the examples that they said, like diverting shield power from the front to the back or the vice versa. Like, I don't necessarily know how the power and the engine and the energy works on your ships. I hope that they kind of reveal some more information about that. I don't know if they will. It seems like they probably won't. But even if they don't, for example, I'm interested, because I thought it was going to be bad or mediocre, and it doesn't look like it. It could play bad and it could play mediocre, because again, like, 5 minutes of gameplay, you can do a whole lot with 5 minutes of gameplay. And really, it wasn't even 5 minutes of gameplay when you think about it. It was 5 minutes of trailers and cutscenes and then gameplay. Like, it's a mismatch, it's a hodgepodge, it's jambalaya. It's just a combination of a whole bunch of different things wrapped up in a 5 minutes. But what I saw within that 5 minutes, knowing that it's a marketing scheme, it's a marketing ploy, it's for EA is just trying to get me and other viewers excited for the game. Knowing that, I really, really liked what I saw from Star Wars Squadron. This has been 24. Remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe for more. Until my next video, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye.